very receptive. They recognize that we, as Columbus Airport, put a lot of money into these alpha lighting, and we probably shouldn't. But at the end of the day, it's not really the FAA's responsibility to kind of take care of those types of things.
Okay, last one. What's SA?
State portion.
State portion of funds. That's additional funds you may receive through NDOT's Office of Aviation. That's all of their portion of funds. You're not going to get a big project with state portion of funds. I think they are capped again this year at $2 million to run all their airports. That's even their local match at 5%. 64 airports, so it's really difficult to do. So there are also additional projects with state portion.
You want to outlay just for everybody in the crowd the 5 years, maybe actually just do the first 3 years of the CIP?
Okay, well, we kind of talked about 2016 in a nutshell as the...
And you gentlemen have this in your packet as well.
Yeah, it's the 11 by 17 exhibit. Well, I'm putting everything in that file. I think I cut it down for us.
Way to save paper more.
Is the taxiway pop-up grant, but the highest priority project in the FAA's eyes is going to be your rehabilitation of taxiway Charlie, right here, this portion of Charlie on the west ramp, as well as taxiway Whiskey to serve your main users in this area here on the west ramp. The PCI report, payment condition index report, that the state hires every 3 years, hires a consultant to come out and inspect all the units in the state. And then come up with a payment condition PCI number, how to rate that payment. The west apron is in poor condition, very poor condition. So they see the need, they know there's a need there. They're not interested in rehabbing the entire west apron because they don't have the funds to go ahead and do that. The taxiway there is what they're looking to do next year. This year, in regards to the design, and then move over to bidding and construction in 2017. That's the two big projects for 2016. Snow removal equipment, we'll probably have that on there every year. We're going to continue to ask for that. We're going to look at just the justification a little bit differently, more on an operational safety versus a snowfall type justification with the FAA. I'll work with Brian on that. The snow removal equipment is going to be your lowest priority project, and you're already asking for 3 projects this year. So it's going to be your lowest priority. It's going to be the least likely to get funded. Okay. First will be the taxiway Charlie and Whiskey. Second will be hoping for the discretionary in September for the taxiway daylight. So 2017 we'll roll right into the construction of taxiway W&C. Again, I'm going to continue to ask for snow removal equipment. And then in 2018, we're going to focus on the south apron. All your light blue areas, as well as taxiway A3 and A4. Honestly, taxiway A3 and A4 were a higher priority project last year. The board wanted to move forward in 2017 with those projects. After we did the geotechnical investigation, structurally they're in great condition. Yes, they're showing surface cracking. Brian and the airport staff's doing a good job of getting those cracks sealed up to maintain the taxiways, but geotechnically and pavement strength-wise, more than sufficient. You know, 1 inches of concrete, some areas greater, plus another 8 inches of asphalt on top of it. So really good strength, just have some old asphalt on top showing the signs of exceeding its 20-year useful life. So, and that's the next 3 years. We will look at, this is, you can see in the orange, we're going to extend taxiway Charlie, and that's more of a geometry change the FAA is telling you have to do. Okay, because they want you to come in at 90 to the runway versus at an 80. So that change has to be made. That's the next priority project.
What is it? What, again,
They just
not
want you to-
not being a pilot.
Right, right, and it's gonna be more of a line of sight issue. I'll let the pilots in the room talk about that more, although most of them like where it's at now. But they would rather you pull in that roadway at a 90 Old Shore versus coming in an angle and losing that line of sight on the approach. Was that good
That's
enough?
what they're thinking, but we
Right.
use it as an exit
Exits.
point, and we like the angle it's there today, because it allows
Rapid.
a rapid exit.
High-speed exits, the FAA does not like, so.
I got another reason from air traffic too.
There you go.
Runway incursion, if you're coming out on Charlie, say, and hitting the runway roll, it slows the plane down a little bit before it makes a turn onto the runway. And not our preference, mind you, couldn't care less myself, but powers to be above us seem to think that's a good idea, to get the airplane to slow down a little more before they go onto the runway for departure, just in case there's a mistake. Exactly.
Last year, they came at us in the beginning of this year, or excuse me, last year, we tried to remove this portion of Alpha and then build this connection, because they didn't like that. They thought that was too high speed. Talked them out of that in the AAI annual presentation that we had. We're going to be able to keep that, which is great, I know there for the pilots and the users. But hate for that one. So that's good news. So in a nutshell, wildlife security fencing, that's always going to be a project on the FAA's radar screen because it's a need out here. It's going to always be a need out here. And we continue to show the runway 23 extension, environmental now. That being said, we have a long way to go on that. And there's a lot of justification that would have to be done. And the environmental assessment takes about 2 to 3 years now with the FAA. And getting a project justified, that would be a very difficult one to justify because the types of users coming into the airport, for the most part, runway 523 would probably accommodate them that it is now. Not saying it's not possible. We have to wait and see what happens by 2020.
Is the, not the concrete, the asphalt, the same kind of asphalt that's used on a regular road, or is it a special kind?
I wish it was, it'd be a lot cheaper.
Well, then let me ask you this, can it be chewed up and reused like they can on the road?
Okay, we pulverize it, we do rubblize, we've got different methods out here, but yeah, you can pulverize it, or we can use it for wrap.
Have you done FDR projects on?
I haven't done a FDR project. We have, I mean, personally, I have. Wolford has actually an IDA or IND with success. I don't have personal experience with FDR projects.
A lot of acronyms.
What's
FDR.
FDR?
Full depth reclamation.
Okay.
We had that done on a few of our roads in the airport.
Yeah, they did a great job. It was quick and it's holding up great. Right here, your main entrance road. Right. Yeah, I was looking at this one here. I'm sorry, right here.
Not all.
True.
Everybody will tell you about that.
Right here.
Yeah.
This is the future land use plan we helped Brian with, and Brian led the effort, and kind of just looking at, and are you going to talk about this later on?
No, wait.
I'm tired of hearing these. This is basically the airport's vision, and I think the theory is, first of all, everybody was new, and there was a vision mission session to kind of talk about what does the board want to do, what does the airport director, the assistant director, where do they see this airport going? The sky's the limit. What's the plan that we can? Yeah, that was.
You really said that, didn't you?
That was good, actually. What are we going to be able to put in front of council, put in front of economic development, redevelopment? Instead of going into that meeting and trying to talk verbally about, hey, we want this hangar over Central or over off Martin, over off taxiway F,